What's going on, guys? Otis Kirk here. Busy weekend on the Hill. Junior Day. We've been looking forward to this Junior Day, and it sounds like it was a success for the Arkansas football program. We talk about Keyshawn Jackson, a guy who's really high on Arkansas right now.
Yeah, I mean,
wide out from Roy City.
Got offers to Alabama, Auburn. You know, I mean, everywhere. A&M, LSU, Nebraska, Ohio State, but yet Arkansas. He said, really, there's not a number 2 right now. And when he came in, everybody thought he was going to Alabama, but Stepp and Browse spent a lot of time with him yesterday and really made a strong impression on this kid, Drew. So, I mean, I think Arkansas is in really good shape there. I mean, he's going to take an official visit here. He said he may make a decision this summer, and he said, yeah, could it be Arkansas? I said, yeah, it definitely could be Arkansas. He said right now he wouldn't even name a number 2 because right now Arkansas is that far up and ahead. So they did a great job with him yesterday, and you're talking about a kid's 4-star that caught 61 passes for 889 yards and 6 touchdowns, and has a lot of speed. He's 6'2", 180. He's got size. I'll tell you one thing he was impressed with. He was impressed with Traylon Burks and Trey Knox. How they played this year, how they made an impact as true freshmen, and he could see himself doing that. You know, Mike Woods did the year before as a freshman, so he likes that. He feels like Stepp, and now Browse can get him to the next level.
Yeah, you were really high on him last week. I remember talking about him last week, and then you see what he did.
He's
here
a big-time player.
As far as the relationships, yeah.
He's just a big-time player, but I had no idea that Arkansas would move up that high for him coming into this.
Yeah, high-profile recruit, Keyshawn Jackson. All right. Let's go to the defensive side of football. Linebacker from Denton, Texas, really good player, and he has a really good name, DJ Arkansas.
Arkansas to Arkansas, you know, and I asked him yesterday, can that happen? He said, you bet. And he thinks, he's named Arkansas as leader now, and he's a linebacker, 6'2", 200, helped Denton Ryan really have a great season over there. He had 111 tackles, 86 of them were solo. 12 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. He's got really good grades, like a 3.6, I believe, and 1120 or something on the SAT. Wow. So he's got, you know, he's outstanding academically, football. Very good kid. Doesn't say much. He's a quiet kid, but he will hit you, believe me. He will hit you. He may be quiet when he's doing interviews and talking, you know, but, man, when he gets on the field, he will strike you, and he's exactly what they need. And he was impressed with Rion Rhodes and Coach Rhodes and just the whole staff at Arkansas. Loved the facility. He said his biggest highlight, though, was that food place they have over there. Talking about the
Jones Center.
Yeah, he called it the food place. He said you can eat all day, man, that food. That was number 1 with this kid. So they definitely need, Sam and the guys need to take them to the Jones Center every time. I know they do, but
keep it consistent.
Yeah, cook something that smells really good where they can smell it, you know. That'll get them back, you know, get that smell going on the food.
It's a good draw, yeah. Jermaine Hamilton Jordan out of Kansas City, Lincoln College Prep, what do you got?
Well, he's a linebacker, but he had an interesting story yesterday. He talked to Barry Odom, and he said that Arkansas is going to a 3-3-5. Because when I talked to Coach Odom after Sunday, he wasn't for sure. He said he's going to depend on the personnel. He said Arkansas is going to play a 3-3-5. You know, this kid's 6', 200. They want him at safety. They said he could get on the field, quicker at safety than he could linebacker, which I guess. But they feel like, you know, that's where his future is at safety. He can run. He had 150 tackles, 18 of them for loss, 5 sacks down there in Kansas City this year. But the biggest thing with him is they want him to come in and be ready to play immediately at safety. So, you know, he's got Kansas State, Iowa State, Kansas, Tulsa offers, along with Arkansas, of course. But he is someone
versatile kid.
Oh yeah, he's versatile, and he's another kid that will really hit you, and just a great kid. I mean, off the field, just a great kid. And kind of the theme with what Sam's trying to do over there is get talent in here, but also get some. All these were good, nice, polite kids. You know, like I said, some of them maybe like DJ didn't talk as much, but he was polite. You know, I mean, but you could tell he's very well mannered. You know. Had his family with him and stuff, and so he was going to talk with his family about where Arkansas stands. But Arkansas is the leader on all three of those kids we've talked about.
That's big, right
And the
there.
next one too. I know who you're going to next. They're the leader on him too.
Let's get right to it. Cole Carson, this old lineman who is on the rise right now, 6'6", and gotta love this guy's personality.
I love him, man. He just said, "Well, I haven't been very many places, you know." He's country, and listen, I'm from Potter, Arkansas, so nobody get your maps out and find Potter, Arkansas. I don't even know if it's on the map or not, so I'm not making fun of the kid at all. I mean, they're not great to be country, but no, I mean, he's a kid. When we talked about him the first time on this show, that he had Arkansas, Louisiana Monroe, Dartmouth, and Texas San Antonio offers. I had a guy or two message me. Why are they offering this kid? Mm-hmm. Well, he's 6'6", 285. Now he's got 11 offers, and some of them are Auburn, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, and stuff. You know, and other good schools.
A lot of SEC connections
yeah.
now,
So
yeah.
I mean, this was a kid that Arkansas didn't react to him having a bunch of offers. They went in there, they liked him, you know, they liked what they saw, and they offered him. And now everybody else is having to react. So in Arkansas, it's his leader too, and he says he's definitely going to get back up for an official visit. He's going to Louisiana Monroe for a visit next weekend. He and Mason Brotherton will be at Louisiana Monroe next weekend. But no, he's an offensive tackle, and he said when he first started this recruiting that he really didn't think he was going to get very many offers. You know, he didn't know, and it's really blown him away. And he's awed by it, and he's a really good kid. And like I said, he would fit into Arkansas because I mean I don't see him going to a big city school. You know, I don't think he'd fit in there. I think this is the type of school he's just a good kid. And he's another kid that another player, athlete, that's got outstanding grade. Well, I mean, he's got offers to Penn, Dartmouth, and places like Ivy League schools. So obviously, he's not like Otis Kirk. He's not a dummy. He's a smart kid, man. So I mean, you know, he's good, and he's good in the classroom.
Penn and Dartmouth.
Yeah, I mean, I could spell those, but I could have never gotten in there. They would have laughed at my application.
I'm right there with you, my friend. Let me tell you, that is impressive. And Cole Carson, one to watch as far as in the trenches, where you know Sam Pittman's going to shore things up.
And that's the thing about the kids we're talking about here. They've got really good grades. They're not just good football. They've all got offers. They've got a bunch of offers. They've all got 5 or 6 or 5 or more offers.
Heads on straight,
But their grades are really good, and they're, like I said, they're all strong character kids.
That's
they're
awesome.
very polite, good kids.
Very nice. Let's finish with Cadence Alter because he's a high-profile recruit.
Ooh, man.
4-star.
Yeah, he's a quarterback. It came up Monday. He wasn't here yesterday. He was here Monday. From Cedar Hill, Texas, just a dual threat. Passed for 2,550 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, rushed for a little over 600 yards with 100 carries, and I think another 6 touchdowns, or 10 touchdowns actually, rushed for 10 touchdowns. But he's just, he's a dual threat, and he's got offers all over the country. He'll be at UCLA on the 10th. I believe that is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He'll be at UCLA on the 10th. He said after that he doesn't really have a lot of business planned, but he can go anywhere he wants to go. He's that type recruit. He's just got offers that, you know, Arkansas, Auburn, Ole Miss, South Carolina, you know, Tennessee. I mean, and there's going to be, everybody hasn't offered him, probably will in the next few weeks, you know, so. But that's just SEC.
He's got the big old box at home. He can just go to and be like,
well,
look,
yeah,
offer here, offer here.
He basically, when it comes down to it, Caden's going to be able to go where he wants to. I really think he or Kyron Drones, the kid we've talked about from Pearland, I think one of those two will be the Arkansas quarterback in this class. And if they can get either one of those kids, they're doing great.
Yeah. Let's recap because before we get out of here, what's your take on this junior day and just the setup and why you thought it was such a success? Obviously, given these names and some of the feedback you're getting, sounds like a success, but just the complexion of it.
Well, I think the biggest difference was the first one was kind of, we talked about it. It was a little, you know, they were mixing in official visitors with preferred walk-ons and everything else, and they didn't get, you're trying to be 3 places in one time, or 2 places in one time. Yesterday, they could spend all their time with these recruits, and they got a lot of one-on-one time, and the kids love that. They love to talk to their position coaches and
more specific.
And besides, you know, it's not just these kids trying to get to know the coaches. The coaches are trying to get to know these kids. So it benefits Justin Stepp to spend time with Keyshawn Jackson. It benefits Kendall Browse. Hey, benefited Kendall Browse spend time with Cadence Alter,
Right.
you know, and the same thing. You go down the line. I mean, you know, the offensive line coaches with Carson and Barry Odom. I told you spent time with Hamilton Jordan, you know, and then Coach Rhodes with DJ Arkansas.
Yep.
So they got a lot of one-on-one time. They got, and they're keeping the numbers are reasonable. I would guess just 30 or so yesterday.
Okay.
I remember one time last year they had over 100 kids here on one deal, and there's a lot of the kids they didn't even get any attention. And that's too many. I like the number 30 or so, somewhere in that range, and I don't know exactly how many is here, but they're probably about 30, 35. And but it was just a well-organized deal, and they got to see the enthusiasm, and all of them, every one of them, even Mason Brother and some kids we didn't talk about today. He said John Cooper was really a nice guy. They explained what they want from them and what they're expecting, what they're looking for. Here's what you can do to improve and stuff like that. And so I think it was a well-organized event, and they got to concentrate on the kids. And that's why I like the junior days, and they'll have some during spring ball, but I really like the ones where you bring them in like yesterday, and that's the only show in town, so to speak. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Well, that's what I liked about that, and I think the kids love it. So I think that was why yesterday was such a success. It wasn't that the February the 1st wasn't a success. It was just I think they were having to spend too much time. They were spending time with recruits, official visitors, you know, unofficial visitors, and then the junior day too. And it was just a lot to ask and a lot to do. Plus, let's be honest, the coaches now have had, you know, 5 extra weeks to get to know this area and get to watch film, and they know more about their own team right now too than they knew on February.
As far as the presentation, when you're actually doing
exactly. I mean,
talking,
you know, we talked to the coaches after signing day, the day after signing day. We got all the assistant coaches, and they didn't really. I mean, people don't realize they were hired during the break mostly when kids were home. The current
whirlwind,
players, and then they came in, they hit the road recruiting after that, and so they didn't even know what they had. I mean, they had somewhat of an idea, but now they know what they've got, and it's easier to go out and present that. And you know, too, it's just like Coach Cooper was talking to Mason. You know, he's telling him how many tight ends they want on scholarship. This is what we've got now, and stuff like that. And I'm sure they did that at every position. So, I mean, that was really important.
All right, Otis, appreciate you. As always, Hogville.net, you got work there, and I know you breaking things down in terms of each one of these recruits. And again, Cole Carson, you can look forward to much more on him as well from Otis Kirk. All right, that is your Pitch All Nation Football Recruiting Report.